everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity John Dima YouTube Music. Guys, we all work. Whether you have your own business or whether you're employed, we work a lot to make money, to take care of our friends, family, and loved ones. We'll stop the show. Maybe not your friends, but you get it. We have responsibilities. Now, because you're always at work, well, what happens? You are more than likely to build relationships, friendships with people that you work with more than people that you live with or that you're related to. That's why some people joke candidly about having work husbands or work wives. Booty clapping sounds! But sometimes we make relationships with people in our own industry who then it could possibly turn into business collaborations or booty clapping sounds. But you get my drift. You work with people, you make bonds with people, you have relationships with people you work with. In the case of Fani Willis, though, that shouldn't have been the case. Why? Can I get a dun 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 sound effect? The reason is Fani Willis has been working in the governmental law sector for almost 20 years. She was the Fulton County District Attorney. She defeated Paul Howard, a 6-term incumbent, in her former boss. But Mr. Paul Howard Jr. had some issues as the Fulton County DA. And it was so bad that Fani Willis had to say this when she was running for office.
Because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees. Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children. Because we deserve better.
That's right. He was quite the cheek clapper, especially with people in the office. That was the problem. Not that he was just clapping cheeks. It was where he was doing it at. And that's important. Fast forward, Nemo. So now Donald Trump gets indicted. When Donald Trump is indicted, guess who's prosecuting the case? Fani Willis. At this time, she is dating Mr. Nathan Wade, who is a person that's not really a big time trial lawyer, or maybe he's not even qualified to do this sort of law. But hey, because Fani Willis and Nathan Wade are booty clapping sounds, yes, she then makes a terrible mistake. She appoints this guy as a special prosecutor to the trial, which then she becomes at that time his boss. Now, this is where it all gets ugly. Now, as a private lawyer, Mr. Nathan Wade is billing Fulton County the work that he's doing. And guess who gets to okay that amount of money? Can I get a dun 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 sound effect? Fani Willis. She's approving all of the money. So what has happened is they really went through the billing records and receipts of the irregular hours that were being submitted by Mr. Nathan Wade. And guys, it's terrible. It's hilarious. Let's look at the first part of this.
All right, we're back in order. We were reviewing the billing practices, the contracts that the various outside counsel had, and I pulled up here one section of Mr. Wade's bill for the really early on in his involvement in the case. As I recall, it began on November 1st of 21, so this would be out of his first bill. I see on November 5th, prepare case for pretrial, 24 hours on one day. What do you make of that?
I mean, I thought it was astonishing that, you didn't sleep for 24 hours. I've been to trial and had to work long hours, but 24 straight. But we did question him about that at the hearing, and he said that that's when it was concluded. So how he explained it was November 5th is when the work was concluded. And so he had done that work up until then, and that he only billed when it was concluded. So he said that the 24 hours, who knows when it spanned, but that how he billed was
would have had to be between November 3rd and November 5th, though, right? So it had to be on the 4th and the 5th, 12 hours a day.
All right. Now, I want you to look at the second part of this, right?
Other thing that I noticed with this is prepared cases for pretrial. At this point, it says anti-corruption unit, his two law partners are the conflict lawyers for the anti-corruption unit. So you've got law, I mean, it's like my husband couldn't represent someone who's adverse to me. Like my husband is my law partner. He can't be doing privilege review on a case I'm prosecuting. So he's consulting on anti-corruption cases for the DA's office where his two law partners are doing the privilege review at the same time. That plus the 24 hours are the two things that really struck out to me.
So, but the only role he had was this prosecution of this election fraud.
Yes, the only role.
Okay, so when it says anti-corruption, that's the corruption we're looking at, election interference.
Yes, he's never worked on any other case.
All right. Let's see that other bill there, Senator Dole's on. All right, so here's another one. If you can see that, okay, this is the one we put up earlier. It looks to be much more specific date-wise anyway than just, those 24-hour chunks like that.
Right. I mean, it's more specific, but it doesn't say what, like, just for example, team meeting and argument prep. Argument prep for what? I mean, normally when we do bills, we would say, argue motion to dismiss or argue whatever the motion is. Research. What are you researching? Researching statutory privilege. Whatever it is.
Now, this one, he shows date ranges when it's over multiple days. Like down at the bottom, 426 to 427, 18 hours. If I'm reading that right, or 16 hours. But on that previous one, he just has 1 day, 24 hours.
Yes.
And you say these are approved by Fani Willis. By contract, she has to approve these billings.
Yes, she does.
Man, I mean, this irregular billing, it's like, how does she even approve some of these things? He's not even being very descriptive as to what he's billing. She's just approving it and approving it and approving it. Now, once she's approving it, what they're saying is that money that he may or may not be working for is now going on to trips, lavish things, cash money. They're kind of maybe splitting the money doing things like this because she's approving anything that she wants up until $700,000. So fast forward, Dima. Now we're at the point where Ashley Merchant is pretty much in court with this unaccountable lawyer here, right? It's a brother. He's trying to fight for Fani Willis, but I want you to hear what Ashley Merchant is about to say about Nathan Wade, and we'll come back.
Now, I wish we could go back in time and undo that and see, but we can't. And so Mr. Wade was in the grand jury. He should not have been there. He should not have been appointed. Had the Board of County Commissioners known all of the facts of the case, he would never have been appointed to this case. So we can't now speculate as to what could have happened.
What case law do you point to prove that?
Oh, the statutes.
No, it's not the statute. Not Fulton County statute. I'm asking for Georgia Court of Appeals, Georgia Supreme Court. Is there any case that says that? And there's not.
No, and it's really not surprising, honestly, because can you imagine this happening? I mean, honestly, in December, would you have imagined this happening? I think most people wouldn't
all
have.
sorts of conflicts are taken up by the Court of Appeals.
I can tell you, I have found some cases in other jurisdictions, but I have never found a case in Georgia where, and mind you, this only happens in Fulton County. So we're talking about Fulton County cases where there would be a special prosecutor appointed, because it's the only place that this happens. So otherwise, maybe the AG. So you're talking about a prosecutor sleeping with the person that she is appointing to do this work, paying exorbitant amount of money, not getting county approval, not filing.
Is she paying him, or is he earning the money because he's actually billing hours because he's prosecuting the case?
I don't.
He's
I wasn't
billing
there.
hours because he's prosecuting the case, correct?
I
A case that a
would
grand jury
hope.
indicted.
I would hope that he's billing based on work that he's doing. I don't know, because I don't have proof of that, and the billing is very irregular. But I don't know, so I don't.
But I
want to
mean, words
speculate.
do matter when we say that she's not paying him in that sense. He's earning money for a case that he's in charge of prosecuting, that a grand jury indicted, and that's where we are.
You're correct. She is not paying him. The Fulton County taxpayers are.
Ashley Merchant has made the case that, listen, okay, Trump being indicted by a grand jury is one thing. That's not what we're dealing with here. What we're dealing with is Nathan Wade should have never been appointed to that special prosecutor position. That's what she's dealing with. The other brother is trying to deal with something else that doesn't make sense. She's dealing with something, I'm talking about Ashley Merchant, which is he should not have been there. Okay? The other guy has a problem with that. But there is no problem with that because she should have not been there. At what? At all. Guys, you cannot sleep with somebody and you know, you've already talked about this, that, hey, Fulton County needs somebody who's not gonna sleep with their employees. What do? You basically hire the guy and start doing what? Sleeping with their employees. Something that you said that you would not do. Well, now you've made, if you were gonna prosecute Trump, that's in danger now because you wanted your boyfriend to get $700,000 so you guys try to beat the system. And then the system ended up beating you. Now, some people may not like that. You may say that I'm being too harsh. You can say what you want to say, but the facts are the facts. And again, I don't know why they thought that, you know, all of these things would not get looked into. It would not be researched. And it looks worse and worse. They look incredibly stupid. Like when you think about it, you're like, what in the hell were they even thinking about? Did they ever think that they were going to get away with this? I don't think so. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Reach for all you do, Scrappy Bill. We're out.